this video, I'll point out the features of the Duetto 2 by Espresso. In addition, I'll open up the machine and show you the features inside to make the Duetto the best in its class. Let's start with the outer shell. Look at the smooth curves in the body as well as the fit and finish. It's not easy to make those curves out of stainless steel. The outer shell on this machine weighs 13 pounds. The outer shell of this machine is always cool to the touch because of its double wall construction. The outer shell on other dual boiler machines in this class get very hot to the touch, not the case with the Duetto. Duetto has a massive E61 lever action group. Simply put, this group is beautiful, makes great coffee, and is easy to service. Now let me point out a few more features on the Duetto 2. Cup warmer to heat your cups. Duetto 2 has a dual PID controller. Part 1 of the controller operates the group boiler, while Part 2 operates the steam boiler. That's right, steam boiler. There is no mechanical pressure stat to fail in the Duetto 2. Group pressure can be adjusted in 1 degree Fahrenheit increments. The display toggles back and forth from the steam boiler temperature to the group temperature. The PID also has a programmable offset differential, which simply means the temperature you set on the PID is the temperature of the water at the group, not the temperature inside the boiler. Duetto 2 is capable of operating on either 110 volt 15 or 20 amps. The machine comes set up for 20 amp operation with a 20 amp rated cord and plug. In 20 amp mode, both heaters can operate at the same time. If you wish to operate the machine in 15 amp mode, you can by simply entering the software on the PID controller and changing it to 15 amp mode. You'll also need an adapter cord that will enable you to plug the machine into a 15 amp rated receptacle. In 15 amp mode, power alternates back and forth from one heater to the other, always giving precedence to the group boiler. For commercial use, we recommend 20 amp setting. However, in home environment, there is no noticeable difference in performance. There are 2 power switches on the side. One turns power on to the group boiler. That one lights up red when turned on. The other switch turns the steam boiler on. If all you want to do is make coffee, you don't need to turn on the 1200 watt heater to the steam boiler. This can save you a lot in energy costs. 2 red lights that tell you when there is power to the heaters. The top one indicates the steam boiler, the bottom one indicates the group boiler. Boiler pressure gauge. This gauge is important for a couple of reasons. If the pressure is too low, you will have poor steam pressure. If it is too high, you are liable to cause the steam boiler safety overpressure valve to open and release all the pressure. Group pressure gauge. Duetto 2 has a rotary pump. If the pump needs adjustment, you need a gauge in order to know how much of an adjustment to make. Huge stainless steel drip tray that can hold as much as 50 ounces of water. The drip tray also has an option to connect to drain. All parts are included. Stainless steel drip tray cover that allows water to easily pass through into the tray and not run off onto your counter. Large 3-liter water tank that now comes with a plastic cover to prevent dust from falling into your water tank. The Duetto can also be direct plumbed, as simply as connecting the stainless steel braided line that is provided with the machine and rotating a lever behind the drip tray 180 degrees. No burn articulating steam and hot water arms. The steam arm has a 4-hole tip with 0.9 millimeter holes, making it easy to produce great microfoam. Newly designed steam and hot water knobs. Now let's open up the hood and have a look inside. First thing to take notice of is the frame and the fact that it's constructed of heavy gauge stainless steel like the outer shell. Reality is an espresso machine gets wet, and the last thing you want is for the frame to rust. 1.8 liter insulated copper steam boiler with a 1200 watt heater. 0.8 liter group boiler, not too large, not too small, with an 800 watt heater. Commercial vacuum breaker valve. This valve has Teflon seats, which are much less prone to scale buildup. The valve also has a tube attached to the top that diverts any water or steam that escapes while reaching pressure back to the drip tray instead of spraying it all over the inside of the machine. Resettable high limit on top of the group boiler to protect the heater and make it easy to re-engage the heater once any problem has been corrected. Rotary pump and motor for quiet operation. Commercial grade overpressure valve. It has been modified for easy access. This valve can be repaired for as little as $3 in the event it stops functioning properly. No need to replace the entire valve. This valve also diverts water to the drip tray should the pump pressure exceed 12 bar. Heavy duty overpressure valve for the steam boiler. This valve is the same one that can be found on commercial espresso machines. Low water sensor. Inside the water tank is a float. The float will shut off the pump and the heating circuit when the water level gets low. Now let me brew some coffee and steam some milk and show you how well the Duetto performs.
Oh, this would be.